Hey guys, welcome back to a new episode of the Glow Beyond podcast where we redefine wellness for skin condition. In today's episode, the arrangement is a little bit special because it's just going to be you and I. Today, I want to talk about love. I get a lot of questions about love on my social media, and I personally think that, like when it comes to living with a skin condition, there are so many difficulties, right? But actually, the hardest for me, it was falling in love. I think personally, for my own personal love journey, to be very honest, it hasn't been easy. I wouldn't say it's like very difficult, right? But actually, looking back, it wasn't very easy because growing up, I didn't believe that I deserve love. When you don't feel like you deserve love, when you don't believe that you deserve love, what happens is it is actually reflected in your choices. And I think previously, when I was younger, I did not know how to choose better. And because I didn't know how to choose better, then I ended up in situations where I get hurt because I'm just a person who is, so full of love. Once I love somebody, I would truly love somebody. And for me to stop loving that somebody, it took a lot out of me. And I went through a few times of that. So yes, love is very difficult. And the pursuit of love is especially challenging for people with skin condition. And that's why today I'm going to take some time to answer a few of your frequently asked questions. And hopefully it will be able to help you in your love journey. Okay, without further ado, let me just get right into it. The first question was, how did you have the courage to let others know about your skin condition? Well, I love this question. Reason why is because growing up, it was very, very challenging for me to actually start talking about my skin condition, even with the people closest to me, even my closest gang of friends. I didn't really reveal how serious my skin condition was, except for a few girlfriends. If it was so difficult for me to express my concerns and my difficulties living with a skin condition with my closest friends, I would say it's even more challenging to explain about your condition and our condition to someone that we actually have a love interest for. I believe that currently it is very easy for me to tell people about my skin condition, but it was not like that. I took 10 years, 10 years to just tell people that I have a skin condition, and it took me a longer while after that to actually tell people specifically that, hey, you know what? It's not just an allergy, it's actually psoriasis. And when you tell people it's psoriasis, most of them would end up asking you, so actually what's psoriasis? What's very funny is because these days if you tell people it's psoriasis, people probably already know because the advocacy landscape and the awareness of skin condition, especially when it comes to psoriasis, has improved so much for the past 5 years. So yes, my advocacy started back in 2018. And the goal of my advocacy was very simple. I didn't have huge dream. I didn't have all this big movement and all these big goals in mind. Actually, I just wanted to be myself. I just wanted to be a person who is able to tell people that, hi, my name is Roy. And yes, my skin looks a little bit red and flaky. It is psoriasis. It's not contagious, so you don't have to be afraid. So I actually just wanted to be myself. I want to taste the freedom of truly being in my own skin. So eventually, I actually did it. Like I tasted the freedom and I realized how good it was. Then I started to actually ask myself how amazing it is going to be if I am also loved despite of my skin. I was really hoping that this person could love me more, accept me, and appreciate me more because of my life experience with psoriasis. Because psoriasis made up a huge chunk of who I am today. So not only that I want to be seen as I am, I also want to be loved as I am. And I realized that the only way for this to happen, the only way for me to be loved as I am, is that I need to show up truthfully. And that includes needing to explain to my potential partner about my skin condition, which is super difficult. But as difficult as it was, I didn't regret it one bit. I don't want to be hiding parts of myself in front of this person that I'm going to possibly be spending my whole life with. And most of all, I do not want my relationship to feel like a prison. Because growing up, I didn't allow myself to be myself, and that's why my life honestly felt a lot like a prison. And I was the one who put myself in that prison. So I just don't want to be there anymore. Let's move on to the second question. Dear Rocky, I feel shame in dating with psoriasis flare. How to overcome this block? Great question, because it is something that I think if you're listening to this, I think you can totally relate to this question. First and foremost, I just want to tell you that it's completely normal to feel shameful. Shame is an emotion that I grew up with, and until today, I'm still working to navigate it better. Even though I've become so much more comfortable in my own skin, shame is something that stays with me every single day, though the intensity of it has reduced so much over the years. But I want to tell you it's very normal, because skin condition generally, we equate skin condition, right? Skin condition equal to not desirable. Because growing up, we were not exposed to all these different types of beauty standards, right? Because we grew up looking at all these women on magazines, MTV, YouTube. Everybody was perfect. Nobody was sharing about their struggles. Nobody was sharing about their imperfections online. But the state of being imperfect is actually the default mode of being human. Isn't that right? So then, what it is telling us growing up is that skin condition is actually not normal. So growing up, if you feel like you're not normal, how are you able to feel confident? How are you able to feel so comfortable in your own skin? It is basically quite impossible unless you are just a very strong person. I think 6 years ago when I started my advocacy, I reached a point where I just don't want to feel like this anymore. I want to normalize having skin condition. So when we think looking good equal to having higher self-worth, meaning that people with skin condition will work their whole life in order to be perfect, and yet we will never reach the standard that the society set for us. So personally, honestly, my shame has reduced over the years when I started to value myself and decide what makes up my own worth. If I only value myself according to how I look and how pretty I look to others, or even like how big of a car that I'm driving, or what kind of brands I'm wearing on my body, this would be a never-ending pursuit, and there will always be comparison and insecurity when we want to achieve this generic beauty standard. But then I realized things started to change when I value myself differently. One of the things that made me feel super proud of myself is that I actually managed to be myself, actually. That was the game changer for me, because it made me realize that in being myself, I was actually loved even more by my friends. The moment I was honest about my skin condition, nobody changed their attitude towards me. And that proved to me that my friends love me as I am. And if my friends can value me beyond how I look, I started to ask myself, why can't I do the same also? Then I started to realize that actually, I'm very courageous, I'm very kind, I am empathetic, I am a good communicator, I am loyal, I'm kind, I am very hardworking. So these are the things that has nothing to do with how we look. And yet these are the things that make people truly want to be around us, and not just how we look like. So it's really telling me another story about how I think of myself and what I think of myself. So if you're listening to this and you are feeling a lot of shame in dating when your skin is flaring up, I just want to tell you that the right person will love you as you are, and the right person will look beyond your skin and appreciate you as you are. And if this potential partner that you're seeing currently is not exhibiting these values, I would say that it is okay to move on, because trust me, you do not want to settle when it comes to relationship. So even if the pursuit of relationship is scary and is very uncertain, I would highly encourage you to really look at your self-worth and then decide how you want your relationship to turn out in the future. Let's move on to the third question. Hey Roy, do people discriminate you because of your skin condition? Of course, we're talking about this in the dating context, right? So in my own personal experience, yes and no. It really depends because I think I try my best to create a context where this information is out there. So when I was dating actively, it was during the pandemic. So everybody was trying to get to know new people from social media or most of all, actually dating apps. So I was very active on dating apps. So I was busy swiping left and right all the time. So it was actually very scary also because I realized that when you're on dating apps, people are judging you depending on your physical side of you. So like in picture, sometimes my skin condition was not that obvious. Of course, I didn't post picture that my skin condition looked obvious, right? So I also want other people to get to know me, more than my skin condition. So I would usually start a conversation with them, trying to see how is the chemistry. And when I reach a point where I need to meet them, before I meet them, I would actually tell this person about my skin condition. I would just bring them through this very light conversation like, hey, I have this skin condition. I think that before we meet, you should probably know. So yeah, let me know what you think. So then it is actually very important for you to prepare yourself to anticipate their reaction. I think what really helped was that I really set very clear boundary that so how this person react does not define my self-worth. Yes, very easy to say, but also very difficult to do. I say it very confidently now. When I was trying to do this, it was very difficult because when you like this person, of course, you would hope that you want to be accepted by this person, right? But this person's reaction is entirely out of your control. So what you can do is to just prepare yourself, establish a communication where he truly get to know you as you, despite of your skin condition. And if there is chemistry, then I would say just be honest and tell this person about your skin condition and see how this person react. I am telling you, how a person react to our skin condition speaks a lot about a person. If this is a person where they reacted strongly to your openness about your skin condition in a bad way, I think perhaps just move on. To be honest, this is not the place that you want to build a healthy relationship on. And if this person is going to constantly make you feel like you're not enough, or if this person makes you feel like you need to fix your skin to make it better, to look better, or to cover up, I would say that it doesn't sound like a safe space for a relationship to thrive. And we also need to understand, naturally, we are extra insecure. And if you are dating a person where they would also project their insecurity onto you, I would say there are a lot of fishes out there in the sea, guys, so we can move on. But if this person react very positively to your confession about your skin condition, I guess it is a very positive sign that you can agree to the first meet. And yeah, we'll see how things go from there, right? At least it is off to a good start. But just a reminder, life is already very difficult. And I just want to encourage all of us to really choose well for ourselves, because relationships and the choice of partner is going to determine the level of happiness you have throughout your whole life. So think twice before anything happens. Let's move on to the fourth question, which is also the last question. Hey Roy, I have psoriasis for 15 years now. I have never dated anyone. I am a little scared. Do you have any tips for me? I'm going to read another question also because they are so relatable. I'm going to respond to both of these questions at the same time. Hey Roy, I'm not married yet. I'm really not sure if a man will accept me with my skin condition. Can you tell me what to do? So relatable. I feel very sad, and I feel a lot of grief from these questions, because skin condition really, really robs us of this life that we're supposed to have. And if we are not careful enough and we are not courageous enough, it is very easy to allow the skin condition to truly steal life away from us. And I've also read comments where people just choose not to pursue relationship because of their skin condition. It sounds a bit foolish, but the struggle is so real because it can be so scary to face the biggest rejections of our life. Actually, to be honest, I had the same thoughts growing up. Ever since I have psoriasis at the age of 14, I have constantly questioned myself, who is going to love me when my skin look like that? Especially the moments when you wake up early in the morning and you see all the flakes on the bed, who will actually want to sleep in the same bed with me? It is just so gross, so disgusting. And I couldn't believe that someone would actually want to choose to live a life with me and just go through daily life together, looking at each other in our worst moments. I couldn't believe that until it happened. So I don't know if this is a good advice, but I'm just letting you know that when you choose to believe the possibility in life, maybe, as crazy as it seems, maybe life would give you what you want. Only if you are courageous enough to believe and to also take action to try it for yourself. So there is no way to know whether or not a person is going to love you unless you put yourself in a position where for this person to choose. But in order for that to happen, you've got to believe that you are more than your skin. I know it is so cliche. I know this is what people talk about all the time, but truly, it takes a mountain to believe that you are actually more than your skin and that people would actually love you because of that. I think one advice that I can 100% tell you is, please don't close the door when you don't know the answer yet. Just encourage yourself to step out of the door. At least you're being seen. At least you're talking to people out there. And at least you are opening yourself up for possibilities. And yes, you may get hurt just like everybody else. And yes, you may also get rejected just like everybody else. And I do understand that the pain from rejection and the pain from getting hurt is so much more intimidating compared to a normal person. But I promise you, there are lessons to learn in that. These are the opportunities for us to build our resilience in order to last us until we meet the person that we are meant to spend the rest of our life with. And honestly, I do not believe in fairy tale. I have never believed in, finding your prince charming. But love can only happen when you believe it. And love can only happen when you put yourselves out there. And love can only happen when you have the courage to connect, to open yourself up, and to also fall in love. When it comes to love, this game has never been fair. So do not expect it to be fair. But do it anyway. Try anyway, because you will not know what would happen. My personal story is that when I met my current partner, actually, at this very moment when I'm recording this, I'm already engaged. Yes, so when I met my current partner, I would never imagine that I'm going to marry this person. And actually, when I met him, I was not interested in him at all. But yet, fate happened. Maybe I will share this story another day. But let me tell you that you just have to believe. Sometimes you just have to believe and put yourself out there and allow things to happen. So for this particular episode, we just touched on, the challenges that we face when it comes to the stage of dating. I hope that everything that I've shared, I hope that they are helpful. And I just wish that, we keep going, we keep trying until until something happens, right? Yeah, because if you don't try, nothing is ever going to happen. That is actually the truth. So yes, let's keep each other going. Let's keep cheering each other on and give each other courage. And if you need extra stories to hear, I actually put up a carousel post on my Instagram, and I actually pinned it. It is actually a picture of my hand and my fiance's hand. I put a lot of effort in compiling all the stories from other, skin warriors, love story as well. So these are the real stories that show you, even though we have this skin condition, love is still possible. I hope this has been great. And I hope that you enjoyed this episode. And I hope to see you in the next one. And don't forget to glow beyond your skin condition. Bye.